مساء الخير and good evening for everybody. Today I was wanna talk to you about what's happening in Egypt in the past 1 year since the Blessing Revolution take place in January 25th of 2011. I wanna everybody recognize what's happening in Egypt in the past I would say 50 or 60 years from now. Uh, in 60 years ago, there is a other revolution was take place in 1952 by a very wise general called Muhammad Naguib. He was a good guy, and he became the president of Egypt in 1952 till 1954, when the other generals in the military council kick him, arrest him, and put him in a compound or is in home arrest for 30 years. It was in 1954, I believe, till 1980 some. Then, Gamal Abdel Nasser would take a place, and he became the president. He became the president of Egypt, and since then, the military take a huge effect in all the Egyptian government till now. The military council became, the biggest and the highest rank toward or against all other civil bodies in the country. The military council since 1954 put lots of laws, and they make decisions about the relationship between Egypt and United States, and Egypt with Europe, and Egypt with Russia, or the Soviet Union at this time. And he make a very good tie between Egypt and the Soviet Union, like any other, corrupted country all over the world, like Syria, like Iran, all those countries are united that they have a good relation to the Soviet Union against United States of America. Between 1954 to 1970, I think 70 or 71, Gamal Abdel Nasser went with Egypt to the hell. All the laws done at this period of time was for the benefits of boors, and was against rich people. Was that's he made a lot of manufacturers with bad management. Egypt was one of the countries owns lots of other countries with money. He started borrowing money to build the the great Saad Ali in Aswan, and he borrowed money to fund the military. He borrows money to fund um, you know different and other countries like Algeria, militant, Yemen militant. He became he borrowed a lot of money, Gamal Abdel Nasser, and we still suffering in Egypt till now for the bad decision done by someone has no idea about political mind and just a military mind, like Gamal Abdel Nasser. 1971, I think, when Anwar Sadat, or 1972, no, I think 1970 or 1971, if I'm not mistaken, President Anwar Sadat again borrow more money from everywhere to support the military against Israel. Um, they make they fight with Israel during this time, and Egyptian consider win the war between Egypt and Israel, and to free Sinai at this time in 1972. Between 1972 to 1979, President Anwar Sadat, he make much better decisions about change the political view to go toward more tie with United States and the free world, free country, and against Soviet Union. Uh, it was a good decision, but he make a bad decision in other way with the hateful speech start at this time again is the Coptic Christian in Egypt, and allowing Muslim Brotherhood and a lot of militant groups like jihad, like different militant groups, Islamic groups in Egypt to grow up to be against Marxists and against Democrats and liberal parties in Egypt. By doing that, they became very powerful in Egypt during this time, and make Coptics has a miserable life. He arrests end of his period of time in 1981, in 1981. He forced Bob Shenouda. He's the Bob of the Coptic Orthodox Church of Egypt, in home arrest in one of the monasteries, and he arrested a lot of bishops, Christian priests, and even arrest some Muslims at this time. But he get killed by the militant groups. He supports them from the beginning, and he killed by jihad, the Islamic jihad. And it was a disaster. When Hosni Mubarak take a place, he also, like Gamal Abdel Nasser, like Anwar Sadat, he is also from military. He was one of the generals in the military. He became the president of Egypt. He started making wise decisions, and by allowing Coptic to have more freedoms, and allow again Muslims to take more freedom. He was only going toward have more power to his government and or his family more than anybody else. He was trying to balance his point of view against everyone and with everyone. He was against the United States, but he was the biggest to support them. He was against the Soviet Union, but he became one of their best friends. He played political very well. He played different way. He's in the media. He have people talk and or against United States. On the other hand, there is other people he supports him talk with United States. He have all, or he played all, dummy in media, in government, in military. All became controlled by Hosni Mubarak in the beginning of his, presidents in the 80s till the 90s. He was fair in some situation. He was okay in other situation. But the biggest mistake he did, at this time, that he have, better or bigger relations to Arab countries against European and against USA as a country. In the 90s, that was the biggest and start the collapsing of Egypt, and the corruption of Egypt became too much in everywhere. The corruption became in the government. The corruption became in the military. The corruption became in Congress and Parliament in Egypt. The corruption became in everywhere in the government, from the youngest and the smallest employee to the government to the highest rank in the government. The corruption became too much for one country to afford or to accept it. Accept it. One time we still remember the Congress and the Parliament in Egypt has more than 50 drug dealers in one time. Other time was more than 100 has civil or criminal record for them, would not allow them to be in the parliament or in the Congress, and they take those trials away, since they have the power to override those judicial system. We still remember Abdeslam Goma. He's one of the corrupted judge in Egypt, who is the one has trials. Many trials was most of his trials is actually was against any kind of law in Egypt. He made tricks. He was the government will choose him and some other judge for any kind of situation where they need help from a judge. He's the one has the arrest and the trial of Mr. Ayman Noor, the president of El Ghad Party. He was the one has is a judge in case of different people supporting democracy or against the country. Anybody against the country, they choose him in the trial. This way, they know that he, they pay him very good, and they know that he will put the judge, the order the way they want it. The corruption was in the government, and for the benefit of the businessmen who can afford to pay back to the government, their fees, the government fees, and the government fees is actually going to President Mubarak and his family. Egypt became very corrupted at this time, and to make people not angry against them, they hire some of the Islamic groups. This way, in Egypt, the Islamic groups actually supporting the government, not against them. That's starting after the fight between Jihad and Jama'ah al-Islamiyya in the 90s against the Coptics and against the government. They make a very good deal in 1997, 1998, that the government will let Islamic groups grow and take a place in between Egyptian people, as long as they are in peace with President Mubarak and his government. Both were against Coptic, both were against liberal, and both were against democracy. In 1999 till 2000, 2011, President Mubarak most of the time were in Sharm el-Sheikh, who was having all the time vacations. Uh, he's not governing anything. He's controlling all the dummy he put in the country, in the government, in the military, by his hand and by his allies. Um, and they played the rule very well. Military was corrupted since they became a country inside a country. They have their own clubs. They have their own, vacation places. They have their own villas, apartments, houses. Most of military personnel become very and extremely rich compared to anybody. They have the highest, salaries in Egypt. This way, they always loved Muhammad Hosni Mubarak and everybody in the government, and they always make a peace deal with the government as long as they are all, work together hand by hand. In January 25th of 2011, a revolution in Egypt take place by some of the best people in Egypt. People hate the corruption. People like the peace. People like democracy. I don't want to say liberal people because a lot of them they are not actually 100% liberal. They are in a middle way. They are not extreme. About anything. They are in the middle. Uh, those people became, they are unfamous. People who start the revolution again in 2011, and for first time in our life, we could say no to Mubarak. For first time in our life, we can say no to the military council. It was the first time in our life to say no to fanatic and to extremist Muslims in the country. Uh, there's a lot of people killed. There's a lot of people injured. But we won. I think we won. Even military, controls the country now. Uh, even extremist Muslim right now, they became the majority in Parliament and Congress. Uh, but we won. They don't understand that people talk, people act, people they don't afraid anymore. We do have the freedom of speech, even it's in our imagination, in online, in Facebook, in Twitter, in YouTube. But we will never stop talking. We will never stop fighting for our country. We will never gonna stop fighting for our religion. We will not stop fighting for democracy. And maybe we are waiting for the moment, but you will never know when it's gonna come. But we won. Just want to make it, sure for all generals controlling the country right now. You're gonna go to trials. We will, we will put you in trials one day. You never know when, but if you're not gonna go away, if you're not gonna leave the country, we're gonna arrest you and we'll put you in trial, and you'll see what's gonna happen. That's how it is. We are the people. And for Muslim Brotherhoods and the extremists, if even you think you win by Qatar and Saudi Arabia money, if you think more people elect you because of what you give them as a money, if you think right now you are in power, you're wrong. You're not in power. We are in power more than all of you guys. You know why? Because we are in the right way. We are the people. You are not the people. You are corrupted, same like Mubarak. Ikhwan, which is Muslim Brotherhood, you are against the country. You are against the people. People talk. And we were never gonna stop talking. This is our country, and it's gonna be always our country. Whatever you're gonna do, your funds or your money, one day it will disappear. And people will gonna ask you again, where is the money you used to give us? You're not gonna have an answer. And those people are gonna be in our side one day. We will wait and you will see. God bless America, God bless USA, and God bless Egypt, our country. Thank you and have a great day. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year for everybody. Bye bye.